hurricane, a tidal wave. Essence perfect, life looks brilliant, give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You're burying me, burying me. Yeah, you're burying me, burying me. You've got me hypnotized, push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. Whoa, I can see, I can hear, going crazy, but the light has got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Can you hold my hand again?
Now that we've annoyed you with the theme song, welcome to the OLE Post Show for Money in the Bank. I'm Bobby Munson, trying to pretend like I haven't been day drinking, and I'm joined by an esteemed panel of great columnists that I absolutely respect. Joined right below me, right there, Auntie Collins. How are you doing this evening?
I'm awesome. This was so fun that it was so short. I'm so used to watching 4-5 hour pay-per-views, and this is a walk in the park for me.
Fantastic. And right beside you, Kimmy Sokol. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming out. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, I was almost concerned we were going to hear the Honor Ramble theme song because that's why I'm always here. And I was so thrown off when I didn't hear it. I was like, wait, what show am I on? But yeah, I'm here talking about Money in the Bank and some very interesting things that happened.
Fantastic. And then right beside me, he is my arch nemesis when it comes to regular football seasons. He is my evil overlord boss on WWE 2K23 on Mark Talks Wrestling. But he is my absolute best mate when it comes to Euro 2024 and England's big victory today. Mark Robson, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I am having an absolute great day. Not only did this afternoon, UK time, did I see, for the first time ever, the top three in the Formula One in a British Grand Prix, British drivers. That finished, and then I went to watch the football, where then I saw England give me nearly a near-on heart attack, and then we won. And then I've come here today to acknowledge my new tribal chief, and then a match that absolutely fucked me off, but we will get to that very soon. And I mean, Bobby will know the match that's fucked me off, but there was a match that has severely fucked me off, and we'll get to that very soon.
We sure will. Well, let's start things off. Let's kick things off with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, and we're gonna go around the table to find out everybody's thoughts on this one. Mark, we'll start with you. Well, you got the floor right now. What do you think of the men's Money in the Bank ladder match?
I think if you look at it as storytelling wise, it was predictable in the winner. For what was going to happen and how they were going to set things up. I wanted Jey Uso to win it, but that didn't happen. But there was two superstars that I thought that went out there and thought, well, do you know what? We might as well die. So Andrade and Carmelo Hayes went, do you know what? We might not get that much time on TV, but we might as well nearly die in everything we do. And that's exactly what they did. And they set that alight, and I thought it was a great Money in the Bank match. Little disappointing in the winner because of who it was, but at the same time, it made me very happy later on. So for me, I really, really enjoyed that. I thought it was really good, and it was just like a normal men's Money in the Bank. It wasn't the best Money in the Bank match of the night, but it was a really good one to kick off the show and get things going.
Beautiful. Before we go to the next columnist, we're going to say hello to Bobby Stats joining us in the house. Bobby Petito, thank you for joining us, my friend. And of course, Astrid joining us. Astrid, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us here tonight.
Everybody.
Everyone
yeah, I
makes
did.
time.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
same
I didn't
time.
know
Come
we
on,
had
there
this
we go.
address.
Now we got it.
I
There we go.
didn't get the memo. I'm sorry.
We learn, we adapt. It's all good. But Kimmy, you got the floor. What did you think of the men's Money in the Bank ladder match?
Well, this was a match that happened on the show. So I understood why, Drew, but Money in the Bank, when it was first introduced, was meant to make superstars. And that's the purpose of this whole match, as we saw later on with the women's winner. And I just felt like there was such a missed opportunity here for like a Carmelo Hayes or an Andrade, because this could have made their career. Remember, if you looked at the odds, any other wrestler that entered at the last second had better odds than Andrade winning. And that's so sad. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't the best Money in the Bank. Obviously, Drew had to win to continue the story and what we saw later on. But yeah, MVP Carmelo Hayes. What a great match, my dude.
Yeah, he really did own the show. Auntie Collins, your thoughts on the opening match?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I love anytime that there's a stipulation, I'm hooked. So you include ladders, possible chairs, possible tables. Yes, I am a sicko. Give me violence. And anytime Andrade is incorporated with a ladder, a chair, a table, I know that there's going to be violence. So I knew that him being included in this men's Money in the Bank, although he was not my pick to win, he did a fantastic show out. I posted so I saved the clip of Andrade and Finn Balor many years ago doing that sunset powerbomb onto the ladder from the over the top of the ladder. Anyways, I posted that and I was like, watch out for Andrade. And literally 2 minutes later, he was doing the same freaking thing to Carmelo Hayes. And I'm like, you should have read my tweets. Come on. It was really good. Both of them showed out. I was also hoping for Jey Uso to be the winner because Drew didn't need it. He did not need to win the briefcase for us to be like, oh, CM Punk has returned. They are feuding. They are angry. However, it does add an element of that we'll talk about later of him being another opportunity to win the title being taken away from CM Punk. So I don't know. I really enjoyed it. There was also a spot with Chad Gable where he was doing the ankle lock in between two ladders. Mm-hmm. Are you kidding me, man? Like every time I see him, because Kurt Angle is my favorite wrestler of all time, that I just see shades of Kurt Angle and I just see this kind of lineage passed on, whether or not he is the illegitimate son of Kurt Angle. That harkens back to 8 years ago, whatever. But make no mistake, it was really exciting to see all the participants in the match. I mean, Drew was fine too, but he was not my pick to win. I'm not sure who picked him to win, but it was exciting to watch people that I like do spots. But the whole match in itself, it was not the best. But
that's fair assessment. And before we go any further, STG joining us up in the house saying, I didn't know Kimmy watched WWE.
Listen, okay, I'm going to tell you all a very fun story. For those who don't know, I work in the convention scene. I work with vendors, and they don't watch wrestling, but they book wrestlers, which is very confusing. So then me has to tell everybody who to book when they get released from WWE. So for example, when Dijak, his contract expired, I had two vendors literally text me, who's Dijak? And I was like, yike, you guys book wrestlers. Oh, okay. So yes, I have to watch everything. I watch every single product. I know everything that goes on everywhere, and my brain explodes every single time.
Who's Dijak, you ask?
You're watching OLE, and this is a Dijak hijack.
Just send them that video. Maybe they'll know who.
Anyway, yeah, no, it was a solid opening match. Obviously, the Toronto crowd is quite awesome. Professional wrestling for years. It was nice to see. It was a good opener. I agree. Like the ending really wasn't fitting. I know everybody wants to see what new star being made, and Carmelo was cool, and Roddy was cool. So I think they put themselves into a bit of a predicament. If you put a trigger with anybody like that, it kind of puts themselves in a spot where neither one is going to overcome Cody at the moment, and none of them are going to get in the way of future title reign.
Yeah.
Too. And I think that putting the Money in the Bank on anybody in this match was detrimental. You almost had to turn it and burn it, as they say in poker. It was all but over. Give it to Drew. Have what happened later that we'll talk about in a little bit. Happen. It's out of the picture. You don't have to worry about it. They'll continue to make stars. Mello is going to be big. He's obviously going to be big. They've clearly wasted Andrade. I don't know if they're going to do the right thing by him, but we'll see with time. We'll see how it goes. Yes, it was an all right opener. But next match on the card featured a Canadian. So we had the Intercontinental title on the line. Sami Zayn betting against Braun Breaker and Mark. I can't wait to do your thoughts on this one. But we're going to go to Kimmy first. What do you think of the Intercontinental title matchup?
I thought this was a little bit more technical than I would have thought it would have been. I was pretty shocked how slow it was. I mean, first of all, every time Braun Breaker hits the ropes, I get so scared. So scared. Because I'm like, this man is going to hurt himself, concuss himself, do something, and then it's going to be like, oh my god, why did he do that? We're like, have you seen any match Braun Breaker has been in where he's just like, oh my god, look how fast I could go. Whoopie-doo. In terms of Sami winning, I get so confused because I feel like he should have lost this to Gable. I feel like he should have lost the title to Braun Breaker, and I don't know when exactly the time's going to be, but I told my cousin this. I think at SummerSlam they're finally going to put it on Sheamus because that's the one title he needs, and I think that's what they're waiting for. If that's not what they're doing, I have no idea what they're doing. But this is
and as we
controversial.
Continue to let Mark brew over this one because I can't wait for that reaction. Collins, I'm going to get your thoughts next on this matchup.
I'm never going to complain about a Sami Zayn match. There is no planet, and you all know I love Ring of Honor, that it's just, listen, Sami Zayn can do no wrong. And never. I've quickly lost a friend. I love Sami Zayn. So this was this whole thing, this whole championship, I am happy about it. I don't understand why people are not happy about it. Sami Zayn getting his time to shine, to have these great matches, although Braun Breaker does also scare me. His new theme music, not not great. I loved his zebra gum inspired gear. I don't know if it was zebra gum, but I'm just always thinking, like, what does this look like? Look like the zebra gum or like, Lisa Frank kind of thing. It kind of encompassed how much the fans are behind Braun Breaker, even though which is shocking to me because he's recently come from NXT. So having a crowd kind of catch on to an NXT talent is like monumental to some degree. But I'm never going to get mad at a Sami Zayn match. And if you hate that, like, that's fine. I love me some Sami Zayn. It's weird to go from a big, powerful guy losing to a less powerful guy. But the kick at the end and then pinning him to retain the IC championship was just, okay, Sami's obviously been doing this longer. And the more I talk about it, the more I'm torturing. I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
All right, Mark. All right. Before you go, though, I just want to say, oh, now you can go.
How
One,
many
2, 3, 4.
how many times have we got to watch a man get beaten up and then somehow win it? What is he? How many times is it the same thing over and over and over again? For a champion, he's not championing, is he? And for him to beat Gunther and then get beaten up by everyone else. Oh, for the love of God, please, someone. How does a man, also, I'm going back to this, I'm on a rant now, right? How does a man, right, beat Gunther of the first time of asking when he has got like a Rocky montage and then wins it? Like, if we all did that, we would all win all titles of what's going on.
Yeah.
Like it's stupid. It's stupid. I'm sick of Sami Zayn's face. I'm sick of Sami Zayn going, let's go, in front of the crowd and doing that stupid arm thing he does. I'm sick of him getting beaten up. And I'm sick of him beating talent that are much better at wrestling than he is. And I'm sick of him trying to do stuff and then get beaten up every single time. The man gets beaten up more than I've ever.
Oh, I'm just like that. He freezes.
He was ranting so much.
He's just going. It's like, look, now he's gonna be stuck in this position for the rest of the show. Right there.
Oh my
Love
gosh.
Love it. Well, Mark's gone for
charm?
a bit.
That's the charm of Sami Zayn, right? The charm of he's lets everybody else beat up on him, and then he figures out how to win at the end. And
oh, he's back.
My computer died on me while I was ranting.
We broke him. We broke him.
We haven't also mentioned that Johnny Knoxville was chasing him all weekend, right? So
Oh, that is true. He was his stalker ahead of the Sami Zayn and Friends comedy show.
Yeah.
Let's keep this going. This segment works for me.
See, right, so I'm going to try and calm down. I like Canadians. I hate Sami Zayn. There's a thing here. And I also hate Drake. And that's another thing. But they're the two
Canadians, that's it.
Right, so the thing is that so if I'm gonna take my hate Sami Zayn hat off and put a proper hat on, is I am sick and tired of watching a man get beaten down who's meant to be a champion and then just do about 5 moves, does the haluva kick and wins. Like, I want to see something. I've said this before when we did the last premium live event, which was Clash at the Castle. I said this before. I want to see Sami Zayn change from this wimp to just getting one lucky hit to being an actual champion. I want to see him sometimes in certain matches dominate it, put in a great performance, but who knows? Let's see what happens from moving on. Let's just hope at SummerSlam he actually does lose. Please.
To Sheamus.
Please.
Do you want him to lose to Sheamus? Who do you want? Who do you want him to lose to? Now I gotta know.
See, Bobby has an interesting idea about Ludwig Kaiser.
Yes.
Ludwig is so baby to me.
Yes, Ludwig Kaiser. And right, I would so I didn't say this at the beginning because I forgot to say it, right? If Ludwig Kaiser beats Sami Zayn at SummerSlam, and Gunther is definitely going to win anyway, wins the title, I said in the Discord, I yeeted all over myself. I promise you that will be a bigger yeeting over myself if those two come true. I promise. You can clip that. I don't care where that goes.
Don't worry,
but that's happening. That is happening. Anyway, carry on.
And thank you to our 47 live viewers that are enjoying this marvelous match right now.
I've just yeeted again. I've just had it come in my brain. I've yeeted again.
Oh my God.
Too early. This is too early in the morning for me for saying random stuff. This is not going to end well for me.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect.
All right, so I think what we have next? Next is the no match. Next is
the John Cena.
John Cena, yes.
No.
Well, wait, Bobby. Can I say what happened on the presser? What he confirmed?
Yes.
So on the
100%.
presser, John Cena has confirmed that his retirement tour will last from January to December of 2025, meaning that WrestleMania will not be his last match. It will just be his last WrestleMania competing, and he's also currently filming Peacemaker. So I don't know how long that's going to take. So I don't know when he's like officially showing up again, but yeah, a whole year of John Cena.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
I'm so excited for that. That's better than watching 14 matches on a PLE.
Hey, I was there live for that.
Why? Why would you put yourself through that?
Because I was
14
media and I got it for free.
14. Oh, I'm not going to get into a run. 14.
Listen,
Right.
give me long, substantial matches. I like
14.
it. Long, I enjoy it. I like it.
6 I can deal with. 14. I would need about 4 naps during all of that.
I would rather 14 matches continuously than 7 on one day and 7 on another day. I can't.
You must have the energy of someone that has a lot of crack. Because I'm not gonna lie, 14 in one day, I'm falling asleep by about a nap of 7.
I don't know what it is. I just got this is energizing me. We went to Dynamite tapings that were also Rampage was filmed after, and then they also filmed Ring of Honor an hour before and an hour after. And I'm like, let's go. And everyone around me thought I was, and I'm sober. I'm sober. This is just how I enjoy life.
I went to a 3-hour taping of Raw. I died by hour 2. When it was over a few years. By hour 2, I was like, I'm done. And then Braun Strowman broke a trophy. And I went, I'm back up again. I'm ready to go again.
Oh my God.
Jesus. You're one of those people, right, that I need to be around. When I'm sort of going down here, I need to just you pop up and go, right, come on, let's go.
Let's go.
I'll either go, yes, or I'll do the normal British thing and go, what the fuck are you on? It's one of those things that will happen.
Listen, if you've ever spent time around orange cats, that is the energy that I bring to the table.
Orange cat. What?
Have you ever been around an orange cat? They are absolutely psycho bananas.
Yeah, they're
Isn't that-
jerks.
Isn't that Garfield?
What?
Isn't that just Garfield?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
Oh, God. I've done it again, and another clip that Ashley's going to go, 1 minute 14 in.
We've already broken poor Bobby. He's like, all things are happening on it. Bobby hasn't seen the Honor Ramble, so he doesn't understand the dynamic that's happening here today.
Oh, Honor Ramble, we go. Ed, I already said that. You're like 5 minutes too late, Ed. Come on. Get your shit together.
There you go.
But yeah.
But yeah, John Cena's retiring.
Yes, he is retiring. You know what? I mean, credit to him. I hope that he goes out putting a lot of people over, giving them the nod and stuff like that. Credit to him for the career he's had, and awesome. Well done.
You imagine, right? I was just thinking this. You imagine if he starts a faction of his own just for a year.
No.
Just like the scene, the scene faction, because you can actually see him this time.
Stop it. Stop it. Just stop.
And then
now.
wait, hold on. And he brings back, and then Edge sort of comes back, and he gets in there just like,
are you fucking kidding me?
Wait. I haven't
kidding me.
finished
Come on.
it,
On what planet and what
wait.
contract agreement do you think that's
I
ever going to happen?
This is going to be the most random faction I've just thought of, right? You imagine Cena as a faction, and then Edge is there, right, with Lita for some reason, and then you've got Batista and Melina. That's it.
From where? On a list of WWE 2K24 accepted wrestlers. And we just play like this one. Perfect. Cena. Fuck yeah.
Or you said that we can't have Edge because of his contract. Just bring Zack Ryder back and put him as an Edgehead. Just to get it dead.
Fucking solo by himself. Here I am. Just
Oh
me.
my god.
Right, move on, please, because I'm going to go off on one. I'll tell you with
Well,
some random
I'm
shit.
interested to see which young talent to see wrestle against John Cena. I'm sure it's gonna be very much like we was defending the US title. He's gonna put a lot of talent over the process. But back to the wrestling. Let's talk about Damian Priest defending the title against Seth freaking Rollins and the chaos that ensued with a failed cash in. Collins, let's go to you first on this one.
Ay, Dios mío. All right. So I love Punishment Martinez. You know, we got the same last name, so it works out like that, right?
Former Ring of Honor television champion.
Mm-hmm.
See, I only like my Ring of Honor guys. But
Especially Sami Zayn.
next time I'm gonna wear my Sami Zayn shirts.
Oh,
I like
no.
Creed over there. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So the crowd was really hot for it. I think the crowd had the residual of we were all crying because of John Cena, you know, retiring, Satan. So now we're actually finally jumping back into wrestling. Crowd is hot for it. I love a Rollins match. I think that Seth Rollins just knows how to command the crowd while wrestling. And there were a couple matches before the cash in. And then all of a sudden, that very strange non-kick out that I'm like, wait a minute. Why did he stop counting? What is happening? And then Drew McIntyre's music. It was like somebody forgot to hit the button. Hello? That just like sucked the air out of me going, I don't know what's happening. And then I'm scrolling on Twitter and I'm not watching what's going on the TV. And the moment that he cashed in, I said, this is going to be a failed cash in. CM Punk's going to interfere. That's it. That's we knew what was going to happen. And what do you think freaking happened? And of course, the crowd kind of spoiled it before you saw CM Punk on the TV. Because the crowd goes, whoa! And then 2-second delay, and there's CM Punk. And all this is going to be is a freaking street fight right in front of Mindy's Bakery. And we're going to get there. We're going to get to WrestleMania, and that's going to be the end of it. But we didn't need this. But now that and now Seth gets screwed because Seth can no longer go for the championship while Damian Priest has it.
He won't have it for long.
That's true.
He will be having it for the next 4 weeks, and then that's it.
But like the shades of like that right before with all the Judgment Day, and then Finn Balor was like, you know, I guess you said no one could come. Like, okay, we get it. You're gonna take the title belt. Finally, let's go. Let's keep rolling. Like, okay. I just feel like we're stuck. We're stuck in some sort of, you know. This is me trying to shift gears. That's what that is. I just feel like it got stuck. The match got stuck, and then the ending was just not my flavor, my brand of flavor. But
as soon as Drew won earlier in the night, I sensed that cash in going all wrong and happening. I'm like, we're gonna get it out of the picture. That's how Punk's gonna interfere, setting up that match at SummerSlam. I saw the writing on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. It did deflate a little bit with that finish, that failed count, but that was the only deflation. After that, I was fine with it. Again, I really like all the competitors involved, and it's just unfortunate for them that they have to go up against the King General because that's what's next. Mark, I know you have lots of thoughts, so I'm going to go to Kimmy first, and we'll get you on the roundabout here.
So I will give Rollins credit because you have to remember this is his first match back from whatever knee injury he had. aka just his knee falling apart at WrestleMania. I did not like that in the beginning of the match they were looking at the ramp calling out Drew, which was foreshadowing that Drew was going to come out anyway. I thought that was so stupid. I'm like, yes, please tell us what's going to happen, WWE. You smart company. That music guy is definitely getting fired tonight. 100%. That guy is going to be no longer with WWE. But yeah, I see the question in the chat. What does Rollins do at SummerSlam this year? You know, now that Rollins is kind of in this little story now, do they do a triple threat? Do they put Rollins somewhere else? I don't know, and that scares me a little bit because Rollins is my favorite wrestler of all time. I need him to be on that SummerSlam card. But yeah, this match was could have been better. Like 5 out of 10 would recommend.
5 out of 10. All right, Mark. Unleash. What do you got for us?
So I'm going to disagree slightly with what you said about them shouting down the ramp that it was a thing. You knew Drew was going to do it. You knew Drew was going to cash in. You knew that this was going to happen. You knew that he was going to do it anyway. So for me, it was like Seth Rollins going, do it now. I want you to do it now because I'm healthy. I'm not beaten up yet. And that's what I thought was the clever thing, that they've never done that before. And I thought, all right, that's a good way of going. We know what's going to happen. We know that Drew's he's going to be so impatient after everything that's happened before that he needs to cash that in. Also, as well, I thought, so with the pin, I've seen mixed opinions. I have my different theory about the music. I don't think it was the music. I think something happened to Damian Priest in that Falcon Arrow. Because if you watch his face, he glazes well over. He's not there. He's not fully computing anything. So when he lands, if you look in his eyes, he's sort of just staring. Where if you watch normally when they watch the pinfall, they're looking at the referee where he's not even looking anywhere. He's just looking. And I was like, that's a bit weird. So the referee sort of had to go into business for himself. And then the music then kicked in to do what he needed to do from it. And I thought that was good. Also, as an Englishman, right, seeing a Scotsman lose and get beaten up is very happy. It makes my soul so happy. But if he won, by the way, and this is a common theme. If you don't know this and you've listened to Wade Barrett before, when Wade Barrett said at Clash at the Castle, if Drew McIntyre wins, he's British. If he loses, he's Scottish. And I tell you what, that is the fact of life over here. If you win, you are British, and we all love you all around it. If you lose, you're that nation, and we don't like you. And to see Drew McIntyre get beaten up was always nice. I quite enjoy it. But if you looked at the end as well with Damian Priest holding the title, there was something a bit off with the way he was stood there. I don't know whether he computed what happened or what went on. But talking about Seth Rollins, this feud that we've got right now between Punk and McIntyre will go to SummerSlam. And as soon as SummerSlam ends, or as soon as when Royal Rumble turns up, that's when it turns into Punk versus Rollins. That's when it turns into that. Drew McIntyre can have his fun up until a certain point. And I do think a certain AJ might be turning up at some point. It's not that it's confirmed. No one's talked about. I just want it. I think I'm wishing it into the atmosphere for it to actually happen. But for me, I thought it was a good match. I didn't think it was great. There were a few bits where I looked at Seth and I go, "You're not fully healed at all. You're not there. You've rushed this, and I worry for you." And as well with Damian Priest, I think he just the stage might have been just a bit too big for him at that time, where I think he realised the situation he's in. And also, at the end of the day, who cares? Because in 4 weeks, he's going to lose it anyway. So let's be honest. The greatest wrestler that has... By the way, during the Damian Priest match, I actually went onto WWE Network and I brought a good...
And we lost him again. Just as he's getting fired up.
I know.
Every time I talk about Gunther, my internet decides to fucking die. This internet just does not want me to talk. No, as I was saying, during that Damian Priest match, and as soon as he didn't lift his shoulder up, this is no word of a lie, I went on my phone and brought a Gunter top so that when SummerSlam comes, I'm wearing it on this program in celebration while popping champagne on here, celebrating Gunther's title win. And I'm guaranteeing that now.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm with you. I've been rooting for it myself too, so I gotta have your back on that one. Yeah, the match was. I think we're all kind of in agreement. It was decent. It wasn't amazing, but it was two guys that are really, really good, and I think could have an even better one-on-one match if Seth was completely healthy and the stipulations weren't there with the preparations for SummerSlam necessarily. So it is what it is. Up next,
I want to know. Can I ask? What do you all think of like same day cash-ins?
I think it's been overdone at this point because every single time we've had a woman's Money in the Bank, it's always happened on this pay-per-view, except for I think once or twice. So I feel like it's been overdone. Like when Cole was giving the names of all the people that've done it, it's been like 6 or 7. And it's like, that's a little too much for my liking, sir. So please stop doing this. Please. Please.
See, I'm going to be the first to admit I'm not huge on the Money in the Bank concept to begin with. I have fun with the ladder matches,
but
what
a surprise! The gimmick match that you don't like.
I don't enjoy the cheapness of having a cash-in. I would prefer if you won it, you had to choose when you wanted your matchup. You got the title shot, but you picked your shot. What show you wanted it at to fight the champion, not cash in when they're beaten down and you're kind of just taking advantage. Not huge on that, but yes,
I love the same day because then I don't have to worry about or think about or plan out when I've had enough of this. This computer is fucking me off now. Every time I talk, it's starting to die.
Say Gunther's name, see what happens.
Oh, no, I'm refused now at this point. So same day cash-ins, I prefer one of them to do it. I prefer the men to do it a bit more now because it's overdone with the women. I think the last time the men's was done in the same day, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the one I can remember properly was when Dean Ambrose did it on Roman Reigns, when the whole Shield did it at the same time. When Roman then had to go off for time off. But for me, I think the men need to do it because you don't need Drew holding that for longer than 5 minutes. You don't need it. If Jey Uso held it, you probably do need it. Or the other ones, you probably do. Drew McIntyre was never going to hold that any longer. With the women's side as well, this is, for me, make or break.
And he's gone again.
I'll be back. This is off now.
Oh, so, there he goes.
So we have Alexa Bliss who cashed in the same day. Bayley cashed in the same day. Asuka never had to cash in because she was rewarded the Raw Women's Championship. Nikki ASH cashed in same day. Liv Morgan cashed in.
Nikki ASH cashed in on Raw though.
Oh yes, the day one after 1 day. Sorry, that's what it says. After 1 day. So within a day. So 3, yes. Carmella, yes, was the longest one of 287 days. So I agree. It is kind of overplayed. However, I don't know. It makes me feel funny. And I already said I didn't think that he needed to win Money in the Bank. Had it been Jey Uso, we could have cashed in at a later time. But
about time we get a story with the women.
See, the sad part is, Astrid, I don't think our Money in the Bank holder for the woman's going to hold it longer than a month.
You think she'll cash in at SummerSlam?
I think that Naya's going to win, and then Tiffy's going to turn her back and cash in. Because this Princess of the Ring little gimmick is going to break off.
I don't know. Could they like extend... Hi.
I'm using my phone now. I've had enough. I've fully had enough.
Well, seeing as we're already talking about the winner of the women's Money in the Bank,
Yes,
or
can
the
I
cash in
talk
of it.
about the match
Yes.
first?
Yes, go ahead,
Yeah.
Kimmy. You got the floor.
So, this was a botch fest upon a botch fest. However, the botches made it so entertaining. And I was like, wow, this is actually not that bad. So, poor Zoe Starks.
Yeah.
I don't know how that woman is still alive because she concussed herself like 10
Yep.
minutes into this match. And I still don't know how she did that. Like, I physically saw it. You know, I know how she physically did it. But, like, again, how do you miss? The Chelsea Green table spot, oh my God, throwback to Queen of the Mountain in TNA. Like, yes, love a callback. Lyra was such a great a great participant in this match. I feel like she definitely showed why she's on the main roster. Io was in there to direct traffic. Obviously, with all the botches, she didn't do that great of a job, but you know what? She really tried. I think the right person won because I do think that Tiffany Stratton, it had to go to her. I know a lot of people are upset that it wasn't Naomi, but the iron is so hot on Tiffany right now that you needed to capitalize on it. There's such a great marketing tool with her designing the briefcase. She's going to make it pink. It's going to say Miss Money in the Bank. It's going to be all of the fun stuff that people want. You know, I think the last time we had the customized briefcase was like Lesnar with the beatbox. So we gotta bring that back. But yeah, like I was saying, I definitely think that she's going to catch it on SummerSlam and screw Nia Jax. And she's going to be walking out of Cleveland with that women's title.
It's very, very much a strong possibility coming up here. Hold on here, what have we got? Chelsea reacting that TNA spot with Chef's Kiss. She teased it'll be pink and be dazzled. That'll be fun. And Bobby saying it was nice seeing Chelsea Green in the women's.
She got some of the biggest pops of the whole night, Chelsea.
Yeah. And because I promised that I would do this, I went and got this clip here. So, Ed, this is for you.
All I have to say now is it's Tiffy time.
It is Tiffy time. Going over to you, Collins. Your thoughts on this matchup?
Match of the night for sure. Women do it so well in WWE, in my opinion. We had some very green talent, and yes, there were some botches that I got very nervous for poor Zoe Stark's little head, basically giving herself like a DDT, just like, oh, okay, there you go. Okay. I felt that her and Lyra were rushing some of those spots a little bit, to which in my brain I said, you guys have plenty of time. You have plenty of time. Let it breathe. And I think Naomi did a great job of kind of like, hey, guys, like, you know, calm down. Kind of, you know, you saw the talking to them, you know, outside of the ring. However, there was a spot where Naomi hit her head on a ladder, and all I said was, "Oh, that's someone's gonna get talked to in the back." Obviously, didn't take away Tiffany Stratton's, you know, Money in the Bank, but Chelsea Green did a fantastic job. Her gear, Trish Stratton inspired her Canadian gear. I always forget that she's Canadian. Literally, Vancouver, which is 3 hours from me, so less than 3 hours. So, all in all, besides for some of the botches, it was really entertaining. Some of those spots were really great. And I know that, you know, we've had moments in, you know, men's Money in the Bank where there were spots and then the women's match kind of deflated, where I felt like the women will have spots that are going to be remembered. Like, I mean, I think that Chelsea Green using the the ladder and being like, "Oh, I'm afraid of heights," that was cute. But that table spot, which Jordan Grace posted the video of her falling, literally minutes before it actually happened on TV, which I thought was very, you know, foreshadowing. But some of those spots, the, you know, sunset power bombs onto ladders, I get so nervous when I see a ladder already starting to buckle And at the end, I was like, that ladder, the two ladders that were next to each other right before Tiffany went up, she went up on the busted ladder. And I was like, oh, somebody better be holding that ladder down there. I just felt like while the match seemed to, lose focus a little bit, it clicked somewhere halfway through. And I don't know, match of the night for me. Right woman won. I love a marketing opportunity, like adding pink, adding rhinestones. It reminds me of the spinner belt. I loved the spinner belt because I'm a slut, if anything, for gimmick things. So.
What a line.
I'm also a slut for John Cena. So, jeez. Fucking over things.
I can say with that is unreal. I'm not going. I'm not going. I've really said bad enough stuff tonight already. I'm not doing it anymore.
I'm making it so you stay awake. That's
no, thank you very much.
It's working. As we say, Hassan, thank you for joining us. Money in the Bank. I don't know what was more fun, the show or this program right here.
Yeah,
this program.
I'm having a ball here. It's great. And Jordan with the scoop. Yep, definitely. It's usually Kimmy with the scoop, but I guess it was Jordan this time around. Yeah. Mark, from your phone, what do you think of this matchup?
I thought this was the best Money in the Bank women's match ever, and I think this was the best match of the match of the night. I think Chelsea Green has now, for the past few weeks, past month, she's found her groove into this character. Where I love to hate. Like, I don't even love to hate her. I just love her. I just want to see what she's going to do next. And the bit that made me laugh so much is when she was stood and she didn't want to get a ladder and she's jumping up to try and grab the briefcase. And then she grabs the ladder and instead of climbing up it, she's trying to hit the briefcase with the ladder. And I thought, epic, brilliant, love this. I love Chelsea Green. I think the right winner won it. I think the women then decided to go. We saw what Andrade and Carmelo Hayes tried to kill themselves. Let's try and absolutely make sure we can never walk ever again. And I think they were very close to doing that. But at the same time, the women killed it. Every woman deserved an applause. Even Michael Cole and Corey Graves at the end of it was still doing a round of applause well after the ad break after it as well. And the right person won. I don't think she'll cash it in on Nia Jax because Nia Jax. I think she's going to wait until there's someone that can beat Nia Jax down, Jade Cargill. That Jade might not win, but that person's beaten down that much. Easy cash in. And I don't think Bayley's that opponent that can do that to Nia Jax just yet. But at the same time, I'm really excited to see what Tiffany does with this. And for a woman that was NXT Women's Champion, what was it, a year ago, or just over that a little bit, to now being Miss Money in the Bank, and probably Triple H's favorite. Massive future for this lady right now.
Asher mentioning Alex Lajas. I hope I said that right. Asked Punk about costing. Asked Punk about costing Rollins the match, and he said no comment.
See, it's like me and Alex were on the same page here. Love Queen of the Ring, my pal. Same wavelength, clearly.
Yeah, I don't have anything more to add to the match necessarily, but I got to ask: did anyone watch the pre-show and think it was a little bit odd that they talked in this match about? About Chelsea being afraid of heights, but yet they showed her at the top of the CN Tower doing an interview earlier in the evening. I don't know if anyone's seen the CN Tower by chance, but if you're afraid of heights, I really don't think you're gonna have a problem with a ladder after being at the top of the CN Tower. Just saying. Every
time I think of a Money in the Bank women's match, I just think of the Total Divas episode where everyone is prepping for the first women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and Natalya goes and buys a ladder and is trying to climb it, and she goes, "Can I get it from the second step?" Because she's scared of heights. Like, how do you prepare for this match? Do you just go to Lowe's and you just climb up the ladder and see if you can do it?
I think that if you're scared of heights, do what most people throw yourself through the ladders instead of climbing them.
Throw yourself through them.
Yeah, you know where they get power bombed through those ladders.
Yeah,
matches like Sin Cara died from.
yeah.
And I would go, because I'm scared of heights, I go, I don't need to win it. Just throw me and break me in half. I'd rather do that than climb the ladder. Basically, my thinking behind that. That would be what I would do.
See, I kind of like the heights, so I'd
Yeah,
be
I
right
like
in.
heights. I could thrive.
I would probably play the Bailey and Becky from last year and get handcuffed. So I can't go up the ladder. There you go. I can't go up the. I know we're talking about handcuffing now. Jeez. It's after dark
Bobby,
here.
this is
Jeez.
turning to an over 18 show now, mate.
Well, at least the show's after dark in the UK.
That's
Very
true.
much so.
Sorry, it's
Very
not after
much
dark
so.
here in the Pacific Northwest. But seriously, that's what I would do. I'd be like, "Oh, I'm handcuffed. I can't go up the ladder. Sorry." But
I'm not even going to start to get into the story about the guy who called in sick to work because he was handcuffed to a bed. Anyway, it's time for the main event of the evening. Mark, why don't you tell us about what you thought about the main event?
Can I? The joke I was about to say. That guy you said that he got was did he get that hot poo and that's why he couldn't get out of it, out of the bed? Anyway, into the main event. Bobby knows from the other night how that went. Although that come out wrong. No.
Main event.
Right, main
Stick to the
event.
main event. Come on.
So for me, I knew the Bloodline were going to win this, but it was all about who the Bloodline are going to win. And I think the very thing that's starting to tell now that Roman Reigns is very close to coming back was that promo at the end of SmackDown where Solo is physically calling out Roman Reigns for what he done and leaving the Bloodline. And I was like, right, now you're getting the ball rolling for Roman Reigns to come back. And at the same time, I thought I was more intrigued about what they're going to do with Jacob Fatu. How is he going to perform in his very first WWE match? And what I saw from that is a guy that's a future world champion. What you guys may not know, that me, Bobby and Lauren recorded a bunch of videos that will be coming out next week, and during that I have got a clip of it somewhere. I don't know where I've put it on my computer, but on there is a clip of me saying that at WrestleMania 42 or 43 Jacob Fatu will be walking in or out as the world champion. I've called it, I've said it. I think that's where we're going. I think he will most probably be the head of the Bloodline at that point as well. I think Solo is coming in for this for a good time, not a long time. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. Solo tonight was the performance I want to see from Solo Sikoa as a heel, as a bad guy, the mouth running, the actual vocal of the way of being a bad guy, the way that he was portraying himself, the way he done it. I love this Solo Sikoa, and it's built. And to get Canadians to say "fuck you, Solo," it is perfection. And I have to say, this new Bloodline, a lot of people are trying to say it's not as good as the original. You can never get as good as the original. But if you look at Superstars compared, I tell you what, these new bunch are absolutely fantastic. And I have to say, Solo Sikoa, I acknowledge you as my tribal chief.
Awesome. Collins, you're shaking your head. Let's go to you next.
no, I'm sorry. It's like a bad sequel, right? It's good for the laughs. It's good for the, you know, when you need something to put on, when you need to fall asleep on the couch. No.
Ouch.
Damn.
No. I will never acknowledge Solo Sikoa as my tribal chief. I'm so sorry. he will probably beat me up if he ever saw me in real life and I'd run away.
He doesn't.
But
He's got Jacob.
I definitely agree with the same sentiment. We all knew that the Bloodline was going to win this match. We knew the plan going in. It's been written on the walls. Poor Paul Heyman, him and his poor son. I can't imagine 3 people power bombing me through an announce table and being okay. So I get it. I get that that's where we were going. But it really was, who are they going to pin? And I do not like when your world champion is pinned in a tag match, even if it's for storyline, even if that's where we're going for SummerSlam, even if that's painted in the stars. So it's going to be Solo Sikoa versus Cody Rhodes. That's where we get, and then Roman Reigns shows up, and then we have the whole thing over again. I am so tired of this. The first wrestling podcast I ever did 4 years ago, I was talking about how annoyed I already was with the Bloodline. And I say this as someone who defended Roman Reigns during that really suffering succotash period. So to continue this Bloodline story, I get it. Some people are just super jazzed about Jacob Fatu, and I love Jacob Fatu. However, it just is the song that never ends. It is the thing that won't stop, and I want off this ride. Give Cody Rhodes something else. Is this going to be his entire title reign? Are we going to get another 400 days of Cody versus the Bloodline? I'm exhausted.
You're not going to like the fact that next year, the next WrestleMania is Cody Rhodes versus The Rock.
I
It's
know.
written in the stars already. I agree with, and do you know what? I agree with you to a certain point. And I think the wrong thing that they should have done, and the wrong thing WWE has done, is to keep the Bloodline on the same brand as Cody Rhodes. I think what they should have done is switched it. Cody Rhodes either goes to Raw, and the Bloodline stays on SmackDown. And you're right with that. But the good thing you can say about this reincarnation is when Roman Reigns comes back, he will do nothing as tribal chief. This will be Solo Sikoa's group. Roman's going to come back solo, and I'm interested to see how this Roman. And I think WWE have done this perfectly. Listen to the audience. Every audience that they've been in and they've done, every single one has either booed the hell out of Solo Sikoa and chanted that they want Roman. Who would have thought that with Roman Reigns before WrestleMania that they would have crowds chanted for Roman Reigns to come back? Brilliant
That's
story.
his star power. I mean, that's the thing. It's, I talked with my husband literally yesterday, is the moment that they stopped forcing creative on Roman Reigns and let him just kind of be him, turned up, to 10 or whatever, then the real Roman, the real actual storyline of their lineage and all the things, it kind of all fell to place. And it's been really interesting. I'm going to say interesting, not exciting for me particularly, but I've loved watching Roman Reigns kind of come into his own. He was out with leukemia, with the pandemic, he was out as well, coming back, being this heel that we all wanted him to be because he was shoved down our throat as a white meat babyface for so freaking long. And Solo Sikoa is not a believable tribal chief. He's not a believable face of the Bloodline. If there's anyone that I would acknowledge as your tribal chief, it's Jacob Fatu. Out of Tamatonga, out of Tonga. Oh gosh, I can't. There's Tongaloa. Out of all of them, Jacob Fatu is, to me, if he talks more, has more time, the more legitimate leader to me because of his brutality, the way that I know that he's been in New Japan. That's more believable to me.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's the goal. If you look at the way they're presenting Jacob Fatu, and you don't see stars coming in and then taking out Paul Heyman, having their first match doing that, and then his entrance he had on his own, and Paul Heyman's facial expressions, all of that I think is leading to. And you can tell where this story's going to go. You can tell that Roman Reigns is going to come back. He's going to try and take the power. Solo's going to do something. Roman Reigns will then, it'll be that civil war. And then further on down the line, Jacob, because you could see the faces of Tama Tonga and Tongaloa when Jacob Fatu turned up, they were scared of him. And I think what you can see is longer down the line, Solo's going to realize that the next phase of the bloodline's going to be Jacob Fatu, and that's where we're going. And I think that the WWE are going to play this slow, and they think that they can't just rush it because Solo's waited for his chance, and this is Solo's chance now. From when Roman Reigns said the next tribal chief will be Solo Sikoa, and now this is Solo's time to turn up, and this is Solo's time to go. This is my opportunity. And they need to let him do it. If he fails, there's Jacob Fatu there. Tama Tonga could just be the reckless havoc that you need at some point as well. But I think they've done this well. And I agree with you that they do overthink. But the Cody Rhodes story, I think one of them should have switched, in my opinion.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Kimmy, your thoughts on this?
I don't know.
match?
I'm shocked no one talked about the missed low blow.
No,
Listen, I didn't want
it
to talk
wasn't a
about the
miss.
dick
It wasn't a
punches
miss.
here.
He aimed for the arsehole first and then went for the balls. That was
Clearly, clearly that wasn't the original plan, and that
It's
is
not.
why he was not in this 6-man tag team match. He is the weak link of the bloodline.
Wow.
He is.
Wow.
Am I wrong? Listen, when they do the War Games match where it's like the new bloodline versus the old bloodline, like he's going to be the one to take the loss for the new bloodline because he is the weak link of the bloodline. Anyway, besides all
if you can't
that,
do a dick punch, I guess
exactly.
Yeah, but you've
Technically-
but you've got to remember, if you tactically aim for the arsehole first and then the balls, you don't know it's coming. So,
Well, this wasn't even his first botch either, because remember, he was late for his own debut. He missed his cue.
Oh my gosh. Hey, some people pay extra for that, that first shot, right?
exactly.
I'm sorry. I'm new. I'm only on Honor Ramble. I'm new to all these other shows, actually. I'm sorry. Anyway, for the match, yeah, this was. I would not have. I understand why we had to have this as the main event, but this was not a main event worthy match. Oh my god. It was boring at times. I did not think the 2 ref bumps was necessary because like nobody came out. Like if someone came out, okay, but like that didn't happen. I actually thought that Owens was going to take the pin. I know he's gotten a lot of losses in like these tag matches that they've had, but I figured, oh, he could lose again. I think the Orton turn for Cody is happening. I thought it was going to happen tonight. Looks like it'll happen sooner than later because he keeps eyeing that title. And I think that's going to be the next feud after the bloodline. I know Collins is very sick and tired of Cody with the bloodline, but I'm going to tell you after SummerSlam, that's it. He's going to be done. He's going to move on to Orton. Maybe Owens does some stuff there too. I think the problem with the draft, honestly, was all the top heavy guys went to Raw. So they're not even building like somebody for Cody to wrestle. So that is who's Triple H's fault. So you could go blame him for that.
Okay, I'll text him later.
Listen, you could put him and Tony Khan in like a group chat and just be like, bad booking decisions.
I got my issues with both of them over here. Jeez.
Listen, gentlemen.
This is how
Book
you gotta
better.
do
Or else.
Or
or
else.
else.
Auntie's gonna get you.
Do you know what? I'm interested now. Now we know we're going to get Solo versus Cody at SummerSlam, and we know Roman Reigns is coming back, which will lead to the Civil War. I'm interested to see who goes on both sides, but then I'm more interested on is how the hell The Rock is going to get involved for WrestleMania, because we know that the build for the WrestleMania is going to be Rock versus Cody, and that's going to be for the title. But it's how is the Rock? Rock can just turn up and go, "I'm fighting you."
Right.
And I'm excited to see whether The Rock comes back and he's the actual tribal chief, but Solo Sikoa is just holding it in place for when the final boss comes back, and then the Solo will then hand it off to The Rock, or how they're going to do it. I am very interested to see how they do that. But overall, I would say the match wasn't main event. I think the women's Money in the Bank match should have finished the whole show. But at the same time, you can understand why they did it for what's going to happen moving forward. But what I do want to see, right, is you remember back in the day when someone used to get taken out by a stretcher and they used to see him get back in an ambulance, and then when they returned, the ambulance used to reverse in, and then the doors used to burst open, that wrestler's back, and then they run to the ring. What I want to see is the ambulance to do the same thing, the doors burst open, Paul Heyman's there, and then he then runs to the ring, and then Roman Reigns just nowhere and spears them.
No offense, but Paul Heyman running, like,
yes.
Listen, Hall of Famer.
Yeah, actually, he runs to a golf cart, which will then drive him into the ring, and then he does like the Brock Lesnar with like the the big tractor thing, and then flips the ring, and Roman Reigns comes in and spears everyone. There you go. There's your SummerSlam.
Listen, mate. Paul E. Dangerously didn't run when he was fucking 20. He's not going to run when he's the age he is now. Like, come on here. Let's be realistic.
Right, let's let him run to a golf cart, and then they can drive him to the ring. There you go.
If he ran, he'd be stretchered right back into the ambulance right now. Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'll give my quick thoughts on the main event. Jacob Fatu. Thank you. Good night. No. I mean, obviously, I love Jacob Fatu. I have for years and years. I've always talked about how much I think this guy's going to be a star. He got to show a little bit of that on display tonight, a little bit, just a teaser. But it was great. He was pushed into a main event position with the company already made to look like a star. So going forward, there is that opportunity. So I'm happy. Again, I felt like this whole pay-per-view from top to bottom was, the fans of Toronto seemed to love it, but they probably had about 12 Canadian beers along the night, so they loved everything throughout the night. I thought it was
Canadian beer more potent than an American beer.
Apparently, I don't know. I don't be honestly. I don't usually drink too many Canadian beers myself anyway. So I'm a bad Canadian. I know. I did. That was the other thing. Okay, so at the opening when they're doing the national anthems and Samantha's beautifully singing the Star Spangled Banner, I'm like, that was amazing. And then they're like, here comes 2-time Juno Award winner, some guy, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? Bring Samantha back out. I don't even care if she's not Canadian. Let her sing our national anthem because it's better than whoever the fuck this is. Like, come on. Seriously. Yeah. It was an average card. It really was. I thought it was okay. I had more fun doing this show, honestly, than watching.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, this one, Money in the Bank was like a filler to try and get to SummerSlam. That's how I felt with this. This was what it was always going to be. And the way that they've started building the bloodline, and then you've now got the added stuff with Seth Rollins, with CM Punk that's going to happen. Now you know who Gunther's victim's going to be. And then you've got the men's Money in the Bank, how that all played out. And then the everything else that went with that. And I think it was good. I'm being there, Ed. I will literally turn up. I have logins. So don't worry about that, mate. I will be turning.
Can I be there too? Because
everyone, we're gonna have a Gunther
just
celebration.
a SummerSlam party.
No SummerSlam party. It's gonna be called the Gunther Celebration. That's it.
All right, bring me one of those Canadian beers, or
No, you need to have a proper beer. That's an English beer.
Okay, I will have a proper English beer.
Proper one.
Right.
None of that weak stuff across the pond.
Listen, I put ice cubes in my wine and I fall asleep.
Hold on.
Wine?
You put ice cubes.
Why? What?
I put ice cubes in my wine. I also put juice in my wine.
What?
Whoa.
No wonder she's a Sammy's. It all comes together now, doesn't it?
We've gone full circle.
Yeah. And I'm not having that. That is sacred. That's just happened there.
Listen, if it's not tequila, I don't want it. If it's not tequila, I don't want it.
Tequila's awesome.
Yeah, tequila's awesome, but okay, no worries. If you enjoy it, that's all that matters.
I could do 8 shots of tequila, but I put ice in my wine.
No, that's not how it works.
You're welcome.
No one thanked you. Can we clip that?
Yes, please.
Someone.
Oh my god.
All right. With that said, Mark, tell people where they can find you.
Oh, you the fuck knows at this point. You can see me on all socials. We've got a massive week coming up on my YouTube for WWE 2K24. We've got War Games where it's me versus Lauren and Bobby to gain control of their brands for the week. I tell you what, I've recorded it. The episodes are up. And I have to say, it is some of the best episodes I have ever recorded for this series. So please go check that out. I also do a gaming channel where we're currently doing EAFC, FIFA. But when that finishes, we've got 2 saves coming. We've got GTA 5. We're going to bring it back. We're going to do the whole series of GTA, the story mode on that. And Formula 1 Manager, when the new game drops, that will be coming out as well. And then obviously on my football channel, I've got Football Manager Save, where I'm currently in Japan, managing out there, plus the Reading updates as well. I do have a channel for literally everything. I have so many things. I do a lot of different things, and I don't want to clusterfuck it onto one channel, so I do a little bit of different things on everywhere else. But yes, Bobby, you are going to go down because you're shit, and I'm going to beat you next week on War Games, so deal with that bitch.
Keep dreaming, mate. Yeah, there he goes.
Oh wow, he
Go
left.
on.
Wow.
That's how we take care of Mark when he talks shit. Anyway, Collins.
Yes, I've only been kicked out once. I've won.
Oh
Twice
my
now.
god.
Collins, where can the people find you?
You can find your Auntie Collins everywhere _queer auntie. Find me on X, Instagram, TikTok, having a party everywhere we go. I am on this channel every Thursday, 7:15 Pacific time, 10:15 Eastern time, where we ramble about Ring of Honor. And sometimes I cry on the episode. More often than not, I'm sure.
You cried on Thursday, guys.
I did cry on Thursday. We talked about the Pure Championship. There is an entire short clip of that. If you just want to get a little bit of a taste, a little bit of an appetizer, it's a lot of fun. I'm also over at Fightful Overbooked, doing Wrestling Makes Me Cry. We are on a short hiatus while Kylie does all her things, but I usually stream and I play The Sims, and it's a lot of fun. Or you could just catch me while I'm shit talking every wrestling promotion because nobody seems to book it how I want.
How dare they?
But next month is my birthday, so
Mine too.
yeah.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Actually is as well. In August is my birthday too.
Oh my gosh.
Wait,
Yeah.
what day?
August.
What day?
The 11th.
Mine's the 15th.
And mine's the 19th.
And
Wow.
my wife is the 6th of August.
Hey.
All right, party time. Let's go.
Leo energy.
Well, now I feel like the third wheel. Anyway, Kimmy, where can the people find you?
Oof. You could follow me on Twitter at Kimmy_Sokol. You can find me on Instagram at Kimmy.Sokol. Again, I don't know why I just didn't make it the same thing. You could see me here occasionally ranting with Collins and Kyle about Ring of Honor. The next time I will be on Honor Ramble will actually be the go home episode for Death Before Dishonor. And guys, we already have 2 matches announced. This is such improvement. It's a miracle. I know, but still, we have matches announced. It's like, thank you, Tony Khan. I'm not going to thank you for pretty much anything else, but I'll thank you for that. If you want to see my writing, because I'm somewhat good at that, you could head over to the Pop Break and just go to the wrestling section, or you could just search my name. I reviewed Who Killed WCW. Guys, it wasn't me. I get blamed for a lot of things, but no one could blame me for killing WCW because I wasn't born yet. You could also see my Money in the Bank predictions, my Forbidden Door coverage, because I was there live in the media covering all 14 matches, and I stayed up. What a miracle. And come to WrestleCon Cleveland if you're looking for something to do before SummerSlam and Friday Night SmackDown. Head to WrestleCon.com and you could see, Trish Stratus talked about it being Trishy time. Cleveland, it's going to be Trishy time because she's the Friday headliner. So before you head to SmackDown, go to WrestleCon Cleveland. You could see Trish Stratus and a bunch of other people. But we're just going to focus on Trish Stratus because she was on the pay-per-view tonight.
I might have to go to Cleveland now.
You should. I'll be
It's
there.
Trish. It's Trish. Oh, I love Trish.
You could say thank you to Trish Stratus.
Oh, I always do. I tweeted her several times saying thank you, Trish.
She
Never
ignored every single one of them. Anyway, how am I going to follow that? Well, I'll try my best. I'm Bobby Munson. You can find me at the ticker down below. As for what I got going on here at our local establishment, it's constantly reviews, music reviews, movie reviews. I do a show called Point of View on Sunday where Mark's been joining me at the moment. We've been talking about Euro 2024. That's on Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Thursday nights, you can catch me with the man with the angelic voice, Papa Smokes, on Ring Respect Radio, where we talk about territory days of professional wrestling as well as independent wrestling. As well, you can find me over at Prairie Pro Wrestling every Saturday, where we release a brand new matchup for you from our vaults. And we've got some really cool stuff coming up for the right there. Aside from that, you can catch me on shows like this with all these wonderful panelists and all my amazing friends all the time here at our local establishment. And if you want to find our local establishment, that's the ticker down below. That's where you can find us. All sorts of amazing people bringing you all sorts of amazing content from all across the globe. We're happy to have such an amazing panel here tonight. Can't wait for tomorrow, where you're going to be able to catch the Heat Wave post show. So make sure to tune in to that as well too. So that is going to be awesome. Can't wait for that. Have fun with that one. And that is going to be it for us here tonight. Thank you for everybody joining. Thank you to all of you for being here tonight. And take care, everybody. Catch you.